even if I didn't know what he was saying in the lyrics, I would still feel somewhat moved to join whatever cause he was singing about, because there's something effective about his vocal delivery, his conviction, and his energy kind of just light a fire under the listener, no matter what the subject matter is. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Audiophiles. My name is Andy, and the fellow over there bobbing his head is John. And we are here to dig into some tunage. And today, John is up to bat, and John's going to offer up something for me to go off and listen to. John, where do we stand, man? What have you got me? What have you got me checking out?
So we're going back to The Well and another track by The Clash.
Okay, cool. So this is on this third Clash song we'll be doing. Yeah, okay, cool. And what will the track be today?
It is Complete Control.
That actually sounds like a Clash song, because it is, perhaps. I will go off and give it a listen and come back and let you know what I think of it. I can't help but laugh. John and I are always talking about, like, you know, the best kind of videos to give one another, and we both kind of like poo-poo the lyric video, but this is so quintessentially British that for me, you know, and my horrible Yank ears, it's good to be able to match some of these lyrics to the delivery here. But yeah, loving this energy. I wouldn't expect anything less from the Clash. They always get your head going. And even if I didn't have the lyrics and I didn't know exactly what they were saying, I'd still be like, hell yeah, I can get behind this. Whatever they're saying, I agree with. Yeah, there's just something I don't know, like movement based, and I don't mean like, you know, literal, but like social movement, or, you know, there's something about how they could just light a fire under your ass, the Clash, with their music. And that's what's happening right now beneath these cheeks. So yeah, let's press on. This is fun. Body, gotta make sure. It was pretty obvious that they were talking about, like, you know, the record label or the critics or the expectations or whatever that they had as being artists, signed artists. But it is getting more and more, I mean, thanks to these lyrics, it's getting more and more obvious that they are really, really taking the piss out of these guys. These, you know, the suits, if you will, is who I mean there. Yeah, this is funny. So defiant. Yeah, I enjoyed that. And I guess as the song progressed, it like obviously in parts he was at points in the song. I think he was directly talking to the record label and the suits and everything, like I alluded to earlier. But it seemed like he was as the song sort of came to the last third, if you will, or last quarter. He was kind of focused more on just the idea of control in general, and kind of being under someone's boot. I thought it was really fun. Also, by the way, the quick guitar is fucking awesome in this song. Really love the guitars. Hats off to you, sir. Um, but I loved the con control and how it's less about the con, like, which connotes, like with, and more about the con, like the con. I think anyway, like the con of it all, like to be under control of another entity is a con, and those who try to assert control or power via control or control via power, um, are cons. Or at least that's the way I see it. Like you're being conned by some sort of system or some sort of societal construct. Um, and I think I mean, it seems very on brand with The Clash. So yeah, this was fun, defiant. You know, makes me want to go tear down signs and walls and other social constructs. But yeah, this is good stuff. And again, I mean, fun, energetic. Those guitars are fucking killer. At one point he said, "You're my guitar hero," I think, and I'm gonna rein that in a little bit, but I'm gonna say I really, really respect the guitar in this. Killed it. Um, I don't have many heroes, but that was an awesome, awesome example of some great, fun, energetic guitar work. So yeah, this was a winner winner chicken dinner. Let's get back to John, who served it up.
Here we are once again.
Yes,
You've had a listen to Complete Control. What
I
do you
did.
think?
And you gave me a lyric video. I really, I like this one a lot. This is fun, defiant,
Yeah,
um, you know, upbeat, fervent, all the things I'd come to expect from a Clash song.
yeah.
And I loved it. It was a great song, man. It was awesome guitar work in this. I'll expand on that later, but man, that really captured my attention. So yeah, it kicks off with great guitar, and it's upbeat, and also inherently defiant. If a music can connote that kind of feeling, I felt it.
The Clash can.
Strummer then joins with this like classic, almost rallying cry esque vocal delivery that he's known for. And I know we typically shy away from using lyric videos where and when we can. You and I, we've discussed this off camera and probably on camera too. But I'm honestly appreciative of it this time because still to my ears with this
Yeah.
this London punk twang to the delivery, you could for my Yankee ears, I can lose some of it. So this, and while
Oh,
also
yeah.
still being fully capable of capturing bits and pieces, this was great to help illustrate everything. And from the jump, it really sounds like it's pointed at the suits at the record label. But as it kind of goes on, they touch on other aspects of control, as the concept will allow you. You start here and it branches out, right? So yeah, I definitely picked up on that, and it was fun and very The Clash, obviously. So anyway, a little hard for me to decipher, but I had a lot of fun listening to it. In fact, even if I didn't know what he was saying in the lyrics, I would still feel somewhat moved to join whatever cause he was singing about, because there's something effective about his vocal delivery, his conviction, and his energy kind of just light a fire under the listener, no matter what the subject matter is. Um, the bass drum foot is working pretty steady by the 23-second mark of this song, before some cymbal crashes are added, and then the tune is fully realized. After a bit more defiance in the face of this notion of control, we have this infectiously fun guitar that I talked about a moment ago that kicks off around, at this point, the 57 mark. And it's so good, in fact, that Strummer proclaims to be his guitar hero. And little did he know there would be a famous video game franchise that would have that same moniker just a couple decades later. But yeah, that was fun. It made me smile. And it's after this lead where I really was able to focus on, or I guess at this point, I'm like, all right, I've fully ingested the guitars. Then I started to hear this really awesome, fast kind of bass work that's going on behind
Yeah.
it. And I really, really enjoyed that. And it was moving very fluidly along with the drums. So, again, really great rhythm section in the song, which I've come to expect from The Clash. And around the 153 marker, after this little mini breakdown in the song, we're introduced to some high tinkling guitar noodling that then cuts out and is replaced in the spotlight with some great rumbling bass. And then more lead guitar comes in, and it's just got this great, bright, almost whirling picking sound to it. And I thought that was really great. I mean, all these different intermittent little, like, not long expansive guitar leads, but they're frequent and quick that they pepper in throughout the song. I really found that like fun and infectious, and a good way to, like, the one thing about punk is that it can be very one note. From the, if you catch a first 10 second of a punk song, what's coming for the next minute and 50, because these are short little jaunts. But this, the next level of maturity in punk rock music, I suppose, because they start to pepper in like musicianship and not just this forthright driving nature that punk is, at its base line known for, right? So I appreciated that. And I really also loved the refrain. I don't know if I'm right in assuming this, but like I really enjoyed the vocal refrain of uh is it like C control or con
Yeah.
control. And it like, by putting the emphasis on the prefix of the word, um I think they're sort of leaning into like this advent of control through power, or power through control, is indeed a con. And not the, I guess, Latin derived con meaning with or whatever, but rather like the con that we know as the modern term for con now. Like, you've been conned. This whole thing is a facade, some bullshit mechanism used to control the masses by the few. Which again, Clash to the bone. So, well, that made me laugh, and I loved that, and I loved that interesting play with the words of the con control. And yeah, it just seemed to me that as it started again, it seemed to be focused on the music industry or working for labels. Then it got into like just parents and your job and shit like. So it was kind of fun to see them expand on throwing shade at this advent of control over folks. So yeah, great song, quintessential Clash subject matter, excellent packaging, and sort of like we talked about with Hot Hot Heat, and Talk to Me, Dance with Me. This is like perfectly packaged in a very succinct fashion. You don't have to sit through a lot with this one, which I don't mind. You don't mind at times, given depending on what the song is. This is perfect in its packaging, and I loved it.
Excellent. Hey, so I won't go on too much about the band because we've already done a couple of reactions. I will stick in some links. I think we've got 3 songs now, or I might even create a Clash playlist as well. And
Yeah.
so you can go and check out previous episodes where we talk extensively about the band. Just a quick recap for anyone who doesn't know, and shame on you if you don't. Joe Strummer, lead vocals, rhythm guitar. Mick Jones, the great Mick Jones, on lead and rhythm guitars and backing vocals. Paul Simon on bass guitar, and Topper Hedden on drums. So there is a narrative behind this particular track. It was released in 1977 after their debut album. The band's label, CBS Records, decided to release the track Remote Control as a single without asking them, which, as you could imagine,
Mm,
infuriated them.
yeah.
And so that's got the lyrics at the start, which I'll go into in a bit. So the song refers to them. It also refers to managers of the time who sought to control their groups, in particular, their own manager, Bernie Rhodes, and Malcolm McLaren of Sex Pistols fame. Now, the song title, Complete Control, is derived from a meeting which Bernie Rhodes had arranged at the Ship, a pub in Soho, with the band. He announced he wasn't happy with the band's antics and wanted, in quotes, to take complete control. Here's a quote from Joe Strummer. He said he wanted complete control. I came out of the pub with Paul Simon collapsing on the pavement in hysterics over those words. That's what Joe Strummer's reaction. Now, I haven't got it because everything's written down as Strummer stroke Jones, but I believe, I don't know for certain, but I believe actually Jones wrote most of this. And Strummer then ad-libbed a few bits and pieces in terms of the lyrics. But this was the first recording with Topper Headon in the band because Terry Chimes had left after the first album because he kind of saw this as a short-term project. So, quick as a flash, this was actually included on the much delayed US release of the first album nearly 2 years later in 1979. It actually was released in America after their second album had been released, Given Enough Rope. And the label, in their wisdom, omitted 4 of the original tracks, added 5 singles and B-sides, and a re-recorded version of White Riot. Unfortunately, the original UK import version was much more popular, so it kind of limited the sales.
Mm.
So there's another great example of record label wisdom.
Yeah.
This
Which
track
only
was
validates their anger
exactly,
toward them, right? We know what the fuck we're doing. Do you? Like,
yeah. The record was produced by the legendary Lee Scratch Perry. Perry had heard the Clash's cover of Police and Thieves, and he was so moved by it, he put a picture of them up in here, the walls of his Black Art Studios in Jamaica, and they're the only white artists accorded such an honor. And when the Clash learned that Perry was in London producing for Bob Marley and the Wailers, he was invited to produce a single, and he jumped at it. I didn't write this down, but apparently after he'd gone, they went back in and fucking did it because they didn't like how he'd done it. But anyway, enough of that. In 2004, Rolling Stone rated the song as 361 on their list of 500 greatest songs of all time. This is a real fan favorite, and for a lot of people, it's their favorite Clash song. It's not quite mine. It's top 5 though. So let's go into the lyrics because it's quite funny. They said release a remote control, but we didn't want it on the label. They said fly to Amsterdam. The people laughed, but the press went mad. Oh, someone's really smart. Oh, complete control. Yeah, that's a laugh. On the last tour, my mates couldn't get in. I'd open them at the back door, but they get run out again. Some of the scanning on this is very forced, but anyway, at every hotel we was met by the law. Come for the party, come to make sure. Oh, have we done something wrong? Oh, complete control even over this song. And then goes into that solo, which is, it's a lovely sort of old-fashioned, almost 50s kind of solo, late 50s. And as you quite rightly pointed out, Strummer goes, "You're my guitar hero," because at the time, there's sort of the rules of punk, which is silly because it's anarchist DIY movement, but there were rules, which I think people took from the Ramones, no guitar solos. So Mick Jones doing a guitar solo was, even then, they'll be in post-punk in 1977 in the middle of punk. It's so really funny. They said we'd be artistically free when we signed that bit of paper. They meant let's make loads of money and worry about it later. Oh, I never understand. Oh, complete control. Let me see your other hand. And then it breaks down. I don't trust you, so why should you trust me? Huh? All over the news, spread fast. They're dirty. They're filthy. They ain't gonna last. This is Joe Public speaking. Control. I'm controlled in the body. I'm controlled in the mind. CON control. This is the punk rockers. Control. We're controlled in the price of the hard drugs we must find. CON control. Total CON control. Total parent control. CON control. And then some lovely scans here. We got to work it up and bring it up and fight it up and write it. CON control. That means you. I kick it, I fight it, I've got to get it out and write it. CON control, I got to kick it. Fantastic lyrics, really
Yeah.
funny as well. And you're right, that con obviously comes from the phrase confidence trick. But it kind of works in the other way as well, because, and it was touched on by people like Wello in the Jam, this overwhelming sense of confidence that people in the establishment have that they are predestined to rule, as it were, and take control.
Mm.
It stems from that confidence, not just the confidence tricksters giving you the confidence to give you their money, but also this establishment, old school tie, all that sort of stuff, having the control as well.
Yeah.
Very interesting and classic Clash. And as you rightly said, Joe Strummer is a lot of things, and he has immense charisma, but he isn't the most clearly enunciated singer of our time or any other time. And what he makes and what he lacks in that, he makes up for in passion and everything
Yeah,
else.
his conviction
Um,
is,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly, off the charts. So yeah, this is a great Clash number, and it's an early one as well. It's a bit more still coming out of that, just slightly coming out of that punk phase into
Okay.
what they were then develop. So it's quite a nice little insight then, that they were obsessed about the control of this huge conglomerate that they signed to, and like they didn't know who they were. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, it's CBS. Of course they're going to control them. You can kick and scream all you want, but you sign a contract.
Yeah. Well, once they
There we
signed the
go.
contract, they knew that they probably had a wealth of inspiration for songs to come. So they created
Yeah,
this boogeyman, or signed up with the boogeyman, and been like, now we're
yeah,
going to write about the boogeyman. So yeah,
mm.
that checks out. Very punkish.
Yeah. But fair enough. I mean, they let them do, a double album and then a goddamn triple album, which no one wanted. And very
Yeah.
few people got through. I mean, Sandinista has got its moments, but my God, it's sprawling.
Well,
Um,
it's also
so
very antithetical to the punk, like you alluded to earlier with Rules, right? That's kind of
yeah,
antithetical to the punk movement, as is the idea of creating a triple album. Like
I
usually you get
know.
like a 7 song album where each track is a minute 50 seconds or something like that. And here
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are going, yeah, we're gonna make a 3 disc album or whatever.
I know, crazy.
Yeah.
But it's all good stuff. That's the Clash for you.
Yeah.
They sort of kick against everything possible, even their own rules. But they didn't really buy into all that punk stuff after a very, very short while. They said we're more than that and moved on, and they proved to be so. So yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I will wrap things up. So thanks for listening, Sandy, and another slice of Clash Heaven. Folks
Yeah.
out there, hope you enjoyed it. There's an easy way to let us know if you did. Hit the like button and please drop some comments about this Clash song. What's your take on it? And any other Clash songs, stories, whatever. We'd love to hear from it. It's always very, very fulfilling and interesting when we get interaction with you guys. So please
Yeah.
do drop your comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and help us build this channel up until finally we can challenge CBS and take them. Do they still exist? And take them down, and perhaps take complete control. Thanks again so much for watching, and we will see all of you on the next episode of the Audiophiles.
See you guys.